we have acute pain, we have inflammatory pain, and we have anxiety to the depths of our soul. And all three of those can be assuaged by using gentle plant therapy instead of those harsh pharmaceuticals, prescriptions, and over-the-counter stuff too, that have been damaging our bodies for so many years.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, where we speak the language of cannabis freely and uncensored while educating our audience on safe use of this live plant therapy. You should know what's in your cannabis, what's good and what's not, because cannabis does not come with an FDA stamp of approval, yet. The information you will find here comes straight from scientists and clinicians doing the work and reporting their findings in reputable outlets. Hopefully, we can inspire you to research the facts as we know them today. Cannabis is an amazing alternative in health remedies, with the potential to alleviate typical disease problems and troubling side effects, even those caused by synthetic prescriptions. Here now is the host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast. She is a 21st century cannabis shaman, not a doctor, not a scientist. Raised by nuns and wolves in the verdant cattle pastures of the Oklahoma oil fields, here to amplify the truth of this great big story of cannabis in historical, political, scientific, and spiritual terms, so you can make educated decisions about the medicine you choose to ingest. Please welcome Honey Smith Walls.
Hey, Lauren Forsch, thank you so much for being here today on the Cannabis Truth Podcast. Gosh, it's nice to have you back, honey, and to catch up with all that you're doing.
Thank you, honey. It's so nice to be here and catch up with you. I'm just so pleased to be in your circle and to keep coming back and be on this merry-go-round together.
So I hear you're switching macaroni up there.
That's right. After 9.5 years, we're closing popped.nyc. And I'm really using this experience to coach and consult for women or anyone who is interested in following the path and avoiding the mistakes I made.
Oh, wow. So you're talking about being a business coach, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in a business environment. My father was a professor of business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I wanted to, this last 10 years has really been an experiment of knowing. I studied advertising, which is commercial art. And so I wanted to find out the difference between what I had been told is what you have to do to succeed and what you really want to do to be true to your heart. And so I'm coaching women to squish those things in between. And there are certain limitations that I've chosen for myself because I am a mother and I do have young children, they're teenagers, and a lifestyle that I want and a behavior that I want that I'm not willing to kind of go outside of that for business, which I was when I was younger. You know, I was willing to travel. I was willing to say, hey, give me this. But I've really softened over the years. And I don't think I need to demand anything because I think it should flow easily to me. And because it always has. So why would now be any difference? So really for women who are finding resistance, my son says, I think this means I'm sounding woo. Nope. Bye. What does it mean? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. He's just giving me a signal. That's good. Communication. I love it. I can't get enough. So anyway, you know, I have children and they interrupt and they do things and I want that. And so I really want to coach other people who aren't in that phase of their life or have that part, you know, compartmentalized. That's just not who I am. I've really looked into compartmentalization, you know, creating a separate self for myself. And I'm a holistic, take me all or take none of me. So, but for those people who are looking to put that aside and say, I don't need to I don't need everybody to know who I am and all about me. And I'm here to do the work and be a member of the team and no more. I'm here for you to help you when that team, there's no such thing as a 100% awesome environment. I've been in some great environments for working. I used to work at Scholastic, the children's publisher. The environment there was wonderful for years, but you get one new manager and that changes. The whole culture changes based on one person. And so I can help you navigate that and decide when do you need to put one in for the team and when do you need to pull out for yourself, for your own sanity. I've spent years practicing putting my oxygen mask on first so that when people told me what's going on with them, I'm not internalizing it. I'm holding space.
Oh, wow. My head just exploded. I want to put my oxygen mask on before I ever speak to anybody again. Honestly. I'm always so surprised at how fast I can just be a human.
I am a corporate bot. I am a mother. Oh, everybody take from me.
Yeah.
No, this is mine. I'm an independent, autonomous human being. So I've created a whole bunch of, I've studied the world. I've traveled the world. I've been so lucky in my life. I've done all these things. I had the opportunity to go to college and I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Florida. And I really learned that kindness is the best currency.
Yeah, we preach it in churches, but not so much really at home all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or in business or out in public to service people.
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up learning to stand firm in who I am and what I want. But I think in the last 10 years, putting on that hat of business owner and like having all the responsibility and also choosing to be with the people working in the business, not just on the business. That's a big distinction that you'll learn about as an entrepreneur, what you're doing to build, actually serve your clients versus the background stuff that you're doing to get the clients and prepare for the clients and recover from the clients. And so I consider myself almost a coach's coach because I'm really, I've thought through everything, all the possibilities. I've seen a lot of things, everything that I've wanted to see. And I'm content. And a lot of people don't have that. They don't have what they want and they want more. And I really want to help. I want to help you do that. I want to help people feel like they deserve more and realize that they have to work for it and still earn it, still pay your dues every day. You wake up, you say, thank you for giving me this breath. And once you are aware that you're losing your breath, you need to learn to pause, collect yourself. And for any woman who's had a child, that becomes harder because when your body holds a child, your ribs expand, your what's it called? The diastasis rectus. Are you familiar with that?
Not heard that term.
Okay, so it's basically how your ribs like open up and they don't just go back. I mean, they go back a little bit, but you actually have to do exercises, wear bands, this kind of stuff. I assume like my mother doesn't know anything about this. I'm not going to tell her because I don't want to blow her mind, but you're in this field. So sorry. But it's been many years for you since you have children, so you've adapted. But I started to learn from other women who had children that like, no, it's not normal to feel like you're laid out on the medical table, like you're still in labor almost, like to feel, and for lack of a better, to feel everything open, you want to be open in your mind and your heart, but for lack of a better term, your holes, you want closed.
Right.
Okay. But you can't do that without like stretching and tensing them. And then it gives me a pain in my neck. Do you have that where you're
working the muscles?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about knowing all of that and knowing, oh shit, this work that I'm doing in my head is actually causing stress.
Oh, yeah.
My different, I don't know if you want to say chakras or zones or organs,
All over your body.
or medical, whatever the words are. Yeah, it's affecting you. What you do one place affects you in all the other places.
Mm.
So what happened is about probably 6 years ago, I started to get this pain here. I think I got hit by a baseball in a park, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I went and checked, and I have like a nerve disc damage. And that was related to the body butter and the cream business that I had, kind of being able to tell a story about chronic pain. But when you're telling that story to individuals, it's not the same impact as kind of commercially doing it. So I've learned a lot about that, because I do work in commercial arts.
Uh-huh.
It was really interesting to see what you need. You look at pharmaceutical commercials, right? And you're like, oh, what is this? There's some new ones where they're actually making this couple of the guys, they're like super awkward in the commercial. So I think it's like they're trying to be less like that's an actor, that's someone beautiful, or I would never be like that. They're trying to make people more attainable in the commercials. I find that wonderful. But I digress. I all that to say, I've been there, I've done that. I'm really looking forward to ushering in the next generation of women because I think that's what's missing. I have a lot of women in my life who have cared for me, who have loved me, who have spoiled me rotten with parties and gifts and love. But when it came to business, I'm on my own. It's my problem. And that's fucked up.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, because it's like, you can't win a business on your own. I mean, maybe Jeff Bezos can, but if all of us got together and organized, imagine the collective bargaining powers we would have. And I love that you're bringing people together. I mean, you're really using your platform, and it's wonderful. I heard you're actually coming out with a book.
Oh, ain't you sweet to say something out loud, girl? I've got it here too. Look, it happened.
Healing Beyond.
Happened just about a week and a half ago.
Congratulations.
Hi, thank you. It is so exciting. Here's the back of it. Me and a little bio, and it's what is different.
Oh, there's a cartoon in there?
I have trusted sources, and all of their faces are caricatures.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I've put trusted sources in here so that the readers will have somebody that they can look to instantly.
Yeah.
Because if their neck of the woods doesn't have what they need, then they'll have trusted sources where they can find what they need, and more education, and from medical professionals who are in the industry. And then it explains a little bit of, this and that. Long story short, I love helping women understand what's going on in their bodies holistically and how to use alternative, gentle plant therapies.
Yeah, honey knows.
Hi, Honey Smith Walls here. I'm host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, weekly for the past 6 years. But today I'm inviting you to a Facebook group called the Holistic Relief Summit, in hopes that you too will come for the peace and stay for the epiphanies. It's a beautiful space for women to find all kinds of relief from all kinds of suffering. Come join us for free.
Well, hello, I'm Dr. Philip Blair, and I want to introduce you to Honey Smith Walls. And she recently had an experience with beta-caryophyllene.
For years,
I've been dealing with lots of arthritis pain and pain from neuropathy that has not been resolved through other prescriptive methods. As an advocate educator in the cannabis industry, I learn lots of interesting information about the compounds within the plants, and one of those turned out to be beta-caryophyllene.
What was your first dose like?
I was gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked. It has given me my future back.
I want to get it out to everybody too. I want to get it out to the whole world, as a matter of fact. It has so many mitigating factors for all the stresses of life and pain and diseases. It is unbelievable, the spectrum of care that it can provide.
I love helping women understand what's going on in their bodies holistically and how to use alternative, gentle plant therapies, not just this one, but others, for relief from all of the suffering that we do as women on this planet. It's just womaning, We have acute pain, we have inflammatory pain, and we have anxiety to the depths of our soul. And all three of those can be assuaged by using gentle plant therapy instead of those harsh pharmaceuticals, prescriptions, and over-the-counter stuff too, that have been damaging our bodies for so many years, taking Tylenol for so many years, acetaminophen and ibuprofen for so many years.
I had really hoped to see my product on the shelf next to a Tylenol. That was the goal. But what you have to do to get there is sacrifice a lot of yourself. And I wasn't willing to do that anymore. I did that earlier in my career, and I'm willing to give a lot, but I found it challenging. I found that I found people saying things that scared me, like they want to be with like-minded people, and that scared me because I'm Jewish, and we think of like-minded people as Nazis.
Woo!
I imagine thousands of like-minded people marching in streets and rounding up other people. And so it really scares me. But what I found is most people use that term from a place of, I want to feel a part of something. I want to feel that most people were saying it out of goodness. And so I just think it was a really valuable lesson for me, is to not be afraid of the words and to really get to know intent. It's really interesting because about a decade ago, when a lot of stuff happened for me about a decade ago, but about then is when social media really took off, and whoever you were, you felt seen. I think you saw someone like you doing something that you never thought you could do. You said, oh, I could do that. And I had always seen people who looked like me doing things, so it wasn't that strange. But when I saw other people starting to say, oh, I feel seen, I feel represented, and I want to go after this thing, I thought, well, there is a lot of stuff that I haven't done because I'm afraid of it. I was trained to do public speaking, but I'm not really that interested in it. I get stage fright, and I think that there are other ways for me to get my message across, that, there's someone who really enjoys speaking to do it. And, what is that? Weighing the joy between getting your message out and being seen. And not everyone can be seen too, right? Like, there's not enough time.
Only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm excited for you. You've put yourself out there after an incredible journey, made this podcast and now a book. And I'm excited to be a part of your summit in some way in the future. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I just
Stretching
really,
your own speaker muscle because Kimasabi, you're a shaman. You're not just a businesswoman with, foundational knowledge to help people build their own business. I see that's what you're offering, but you're also the shaman of this industry and why we should and how we could work with you to bring up our own industry in a new philosophical way.
well, I think if we just look at it really simply, life is a pyramid scheme. And I think, there's this young people, and it's not these young people. It is just the rite of passage as being an adult is you think you know more than someone else because you've had different experiences. And age has value, and it hasn't been valuable in our society. And I think that's going to change because people are going to hit a level of success and they're going to be alienated from their peers. They're going to need support from people who've been there and done that. And that's all I want to do. I want to be a teacher for life. And I can teach anything that I've learned, and I can learn lots of new stuff and teach it. But I can't be paid, $37 an hour or $23 an hour like some teachers are being paid.
Right.
So I feel that my job is to advocate for myself and to be an example for others. And so, yes, I'm here as a vessel, and just to professional best friend is what I like to call myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
The podcast has been a tool for me. It was always a tool for me, a way for me to wiggle myself into this industry and see where I landed. And because I was in Florida when I started this, it was already a medical philosophy. So, and I was already curious about why it was fixing me, because I had a boatload of issues going on, and almost all of them were completely resolved after using some form of cannabis that really addressed those issues strategically, using it strategically. That's what people don't know, for my own issues.
I have a very unpopular belief. Cannabis is three things. It is not one. It is not one of them. It is all three. And if you don't believe all three of them, then you have a blind spot, and that's your issue. So cannabis is a plant.
Yeah.
So plants, no big deal, right? But some plants, no, I hear a lot of people arguing pro cannabis, and they say cannabis is a plant. Opium is a plant, right? Poppy.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be too much like all in on that one argument that it's a plant, because plants can be dangerous, poison even. Everything used in moderation, start low, go slow. But the other thing is cannabis is a medicine. Well, then there needs to be control over it. There needs to be, educated caregivers. There needs to be some kind of regulation. But it's gone way too far already in our country, way too far. And then three, and this is the unpopular one for pro-cannabis people, cannabis is a drug. And that means there are adverse side effects. And that means that there are good things about it. And I think it gives me the opportunity to talk to people about harm reduction. So a lot of people medicate, and we use all sorts of things. We use pharmaceuticals. Some people use pharmaceuticals that aren't theirs, but that's dangerous, right? That we all know now that is dangerous. But what about mixing prescriptions? Like I do take pharmaceuticals, and I have told my doctors that I use cannabis, and they do judge me for that. They are not educated about it, as you know, and I'd like to go to holistic doctors, but like the whole ecosystem isn't, you have to break free from it all. And I like 2025. I like modern conveniences. I love air conditioning. I like living in a high-rise building with an elevator. So it's really, for me, it's been studying what am I willing to let go of and what am I going to need. I have a feeling, as someone who grew up in the 80s, that we're going to have a hard course correct, and capitalism is going to be really big. But it's going to be a different, right now you're seeing people compete on virtue signaling. Have you heard of that phrase?
No.
So everybody is like a company for good. But when you look at them, they're still selling junk. They're like, oh, but we give 1% to the planet, but we're making plastic stuff that takes up like 7% of landfill. So I just encourage everybody to slow down, take your time before you put anything in your mouth. Think about it before you sign any papers. Just what are we in a rush for? We don't have a lot of time here on this planet. Let's make the most of it.
Yeah, those are all very wise words and ideas. I'm right there with you. This planet is in the middle, I think, of a course change.
Yeah.
It's not just us here on this side, but all around the world. And
not just middle-aged white women? No,
I don't think so. But middle-aged white women are smartening up too, and locking arms and rising with the great feminine. The great feminine is rising, and
I'm so surrounded by men. I live with three men, and my femininity has taken a toll. But I'm clawing my way back. I did the makeup trend for a while, the all natural kind of, but truly I enjoy wearing makeup. I consider my face a canvas, and it's my way to express myself. And lately I've been doing some things that I was maybe afraid to do before. I went through a phase where one day I wrote on my face with like crayon and just, went out with my kids and was all silly. Like, I don't remember what I wrote, but then I started playing with my makeup again and making some fun things. And I hired some women and I was working with them, and I learned some tricks and tips. And it was like, I felt part of something again that was nice, something different,
Yeah, it's called autonomy. It's called being you.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what autonomy was until a few years ago. Had no idea. No idea.
So I had always been very independent. My husband was fine with that. But as, the children grew older, and as they're literally stuck to you, and I totally lost myself. And that's when I said, this isn't going to work. I can't survive just being totally like, I live for these children and I'm going to make them crazy. We all know what happens when a Jewish mother.
Any mother.
Well, you're right, but I have a certain reputation to uphold.
Yes, you do. I give it to you. I got a lot of Jewish friends.
We have a certain way of doing things and an expectation that just cannot be denied. But yeah, any mother any person who goes hard into their ethnic rituals, I think I commend for, because that's what you have to do. We created those rituals and those rules, those standards for excellence.
Lauren, you would be great writing for Cannabis Jew magazine. Do you know her?
Ah, that's a thing?
That's a thing. You're going to adore the publisher. She's been on my show.
Who
Okay.
is that?
Cannabis Jew. I'll send you the link to whatever episode that was. And I'm sorry I can't say her name right now, but you are just going to adore her. And you should write for the magazine.
I would love that. That
Yeah.
would be
What
an honor.
Yeah, we'll hook you up, baby. We will hook you up. And all that Jewish mama stuff going on. Oh, it's going to it's just going to ooze out all over the place. I can feel it now.
Thank you, honey. That's really great.
Sure. Let me see. I'm just making that note right now.
Yeah, I'm Google searching on the side. I know listeners want us to pay attention to them, but
yeah, and I
see it. I got it.
Good. I'll make an introduction, but go ahead and feel free to honk at her because she's divine. Tell her honey sent you.
I will.
And I'll back that up with a little letter today, little intro.
Thank you, honey.
My pleasure. This is the kind of collaboration that I'm talking about. Can I give you a little story about what happened yesterday? I went to the grocery store to pick up a few things, and I walked in, and there was sitting a woman right there at the front entrance of the door, just inside, at a little teeny tiny table, and she had an array of her little books out, and then she had a little doll, a little stuffed lammy, and then she had a sign, and she was an author of children's books, the whole Jesus thing, and Easter is coming up. So baby shower is coming up. And a woman just bought this for a baby shower she's going to. And I said, oh, that's so sweet. And I said, well, I know exactly where you are in the process because I'm a new author too. So congratulations to you. And she said, oh, can I interest you? And I said, honey, I'm not a believer and I wouldn't have anybody to send this to, but I love networking with, and I'm kind of new to the area. So I want to get her, and I got her card, and I want to get her, and I showed her my book, involved in a local in-person thing of writers, new book authors, and do a Facebook round robin collaborative.
I would love to do that. Tuesday is my writing day. So if you want to.
Yes.
Maybe I could host the writing workshop.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. So log in with us on Tuesdays for our Cannabis Truth in writing. And maybe there'll be room for them in your next book. Maybe there will be a reference. Who knows what will come out of this? I'm really excited.
So,
I didn't know we had that.
All right. We'll discuss those details after a while. But for now, tell us how the audience can get in touch with you to talk more about the services that you provide.
Yeah, well, you can reach me on LinkedIn. That's really the best way. My name is Lauren Forsch. My last name is Forsch. I think if you want to work with me, you need to be on LinkedIn. It's where professionals have a presence. And so if you don't have a profile, go ahead and make one and reach out to me. Tell me what you're looking for. I'll have more on my coaching offerings and my consulting offerings online shortly. I'm just closing up my business now. And that's really it. It's very simple. I know a lot of people have click here, do this, get in my funnel, get these emails. I don't do any of that. If you want to talk to me, you say, Lauren, I want to talk to you. I say, when? Okay, I'll send you a link to pay, and then we're on. No BS. If there's BS, then it's like not a fit, It's like it's kind of like dating. We date we have an initial meeting where we make sure that we can actually communicate this well, because not everybody has the rapport that you and I have established. And then you feel that you can actually comfortably talk to me and tell me everything. You don't mind me sharing some personal things that will help you just feel better. But, it's not like the boundaries of a traditional work relationship. I'm so sorry. I'm going to shh just for a few more minutes. At teenagers. Now they're whispering loudly, super loudly. Can you hear them? It's really cute. They don't know how to whisper, teens today. So yeah, I mean, it's just, if you want to talk about, maybe you want to return to college, maybe you want to start a business, maybe you're not sure if you have a business or a hobby. Maybe you are going through something at work with some colleagues and you need a sounding board for that. That's really where my specialty lies. And then publications, if you want to create a publication, graphic design, branding, those are all things that I do. But
Girl,
I start with a blank page. So if you're looking for me if you're looking for me to meet you and go, this is the plan, that I created and you step into it and your life is going to change. No, everything I do is custom because you are unique and your challenges are unique. Just because other people have gone through similar challenges before, I think, like, for example, I've had family members dealing with addiction before, and I've gone through support programs for them. One thing I wonder is, why aren't there support programs for those of us who don't have these issues? We still have issues, right? Who's sitting around in a circle for us? Maybe we don't want a circle sitting around for us. Maybe yes, honey is there for you. And that's what it is. Our foolishness sometimes get in the way. And I'm here to say, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Jewess. I'm a mother. No bullshit. No nonsense. And you can tell me all your nonsense. I won't judge you until I get to know you better. And then I will judge you, because that's worth more money, to be honest, the judgment. I mean, like I said, I'm not good at the humble brag. I don't love talking about myself unless it comes out organically, but I'm a smart cookie and I've been underused most of my life. And I really want someone who needs what I have to offer, and let me be a mirror to you. And let me be a sister, a friend. But most importantly, I'm worried about how you make money and if you have enough to eat. And so we're always going to come back to that.
He's only worried.
If you're not financially fit, then
you need help. You need Lauren Forsch.
Yeah.
It's been such a pleasure hanging out and chatting with you and getting to catch up, honey, with what's going on with you. I just love hanging out with you, and I'm delighted to hear that you are going into this expertise, because you really are a shaman. You really are a woman's shaman, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see what happens next for you.
Well, you'll never hear me say it without a giggle, but I'm happy for you to shout it from the rooftops, because I have thought about it. I have thought, like, I really, despite a few years running around in the city, I've really led a pretty wholesome life, very successful. And I just want to help other people. You need someone to pull you up. You can't, you got to reach, but if there's no one else, what's it for?
Yeah. Oh, I love you so much. I'm so glad you came to the show today. Thanks, honey.
Thanks for being a friend and a professional friend.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be a woman on this planet with you. I'll see you next time, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth Podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. Using cannabis mindfully as medication is a different concept in Western healthcare philosophy, specifically over the past century. There's a lot to learn and reconsider. The scientific truth of cannabis is finally getting out and is wide open for all to see at respected medical sites like the National Library of Medicine at pubmed.gov. And the Journal of American Medical Association at JAMAnetwork.com. We here at the Cannabis Truth Podcast are right there in the thick of it, alongside the titans of medicine, as a fly on the wall. We are not doctors, nor did we go to medical school, but we have taken dozens of private cannabis courses and still engage in continuing education offered by expert cannabis scientists. Over the past few years, we slowly began to see and understand the bigger picture. Now we hear from people all day long about cannabis. It is so important to use verifiably safe products. The process of getting a diagnosis from your family doctor and taking your records to a cannabis specialist can lead you to the correct cannabinoid therapy for your specific issues. Otherwise, you're simply your own guinea pig looking for answers without the foundational knowledge or ability to determine your best strategy. To find a qualified cannabis expert in your area, visit cannabisclinicians.org. This is a national society of cannabis experts. Look for the link in the show notes. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you find value and understanding through the conversations you've heard on this podcast.
A quick shout out to Nathan Pierce and Daniel Rome of the 406 Budcast and their brilliant tech goddesses who created what you're about to hear next.
She walked in with wisdom and a fire in her eyes, talking plant truth where the silence lies. From the roots to the bloom, she saw the light. Now she's teaching folks how to heal it right. Not afraid to challenge the tale of lazy myths and a system that failed. She's got science in one hand, stories in the other. Lifts up the voices they tried to smother. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the soil and love in the smoke. Speaking for the elders and the ones left behind. She's the shaman of the leaf with a warrior's mind. Yeah, honey knows how the healing flows. From Florida sun to digital waves, she's breaking down fear with every word she says. Cannabis truth, that's her battle cry. For the mamas and papas still scared to try. She ain't selling hype, she's serving facts. Taking big pharma to school with class. With a mic and a mission, she lights the way for the lost and the curious every day. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the bud and peace in the dose. Teaching the plant like a sacred art. From the ECS to the beating heart. Yeah, honey knows. How the healing flows. She's been burned by the system, lifted by the plant, giving voice to the ones who thought they can. A sister, a sage in a world